Welcome everyone to part 2 of the Homestuck reading. For 2 hours we will be reading and voicing Homestuck, the classic webcomic by Andrew Hussie, part of the Microsoft Paint Adventures. Thank you to everyone who watched the previous video or was in the previous stream, and thank you to everyone preemptively who may watch this new video or who may watch this new stream. Let's begin. You get the knitting bag. It occupies the left leaf card under the violin, per the tree modus's alphabetical sorting method. K lesser than V. Lookout window. Your panoramic window offers a view of your yard below, and the mausoleum housing your dead cat, Jasper's, who died when you were young. Your mom had the structure erected with a spirit of scornful irony in response to your youthfully innocent request to hold a funeral for the animal. At least, that is how you have come to interpret the gesture in retrospect. You can also make out a silhouette of the laboratory next door, a facility which likely broadcasts a strong wireless internet signal. You may be able to connect to the signal from a different part of the house, perhaps if you seek higher ground. Get laptop. Rest in peace, Jaspers the cat. You take your laptop and prepare to make the journey through the house. L is lesser than V, L greater than K. This causes the tree to be unbalanced, so your Sylladex auto-balances itself. Now the laptop occupies the root card, while the other two items comprise the leaves. K lesser than L, V greater than L. Examine book on desk. Grimoire for summoning the zoologically dubious. That's some weird H.P. Lovecraft-esque creations. This book is absolutely indispensable for enthusiasts of your ilk, of which there are very few. Take book. You take the grimoire. J lesser than L, J lesser than K. Go explore the house. It's fucking Merlin! You leave your bedroom. Hanging just next to your door in the hallway is a painting of an exquisite wizard. Your mother collects these awful things ironically. She must know how much you detest them, and there is no doubt in your mind she stores these dreadful things in the house to bother you. Down the hall to the right is the way to the observatory. Perhaps you will be able to connect from up there. Your mother's room is also in that direction. You will have to watch your step. Tiptoe to observatory. You approach a juncture in the hallway. Beyond the juncture is the observatory. Lots of wizards. There's lots of Merlins. Sneak by. Proceed. This door leads up to the observatory. You haven't ventured up there in quite some time. Go through door. It's, it's raining. The door opens to an exterior walkway, leading to the observatory entrance. You've seen less inclement weather before. Oh, the things you'll do to help out a friend. Hurry up to that observatory. Try to connect. You first put your laptop down on the floor to get it situated, but removing it from the root card causes all the branches and leaves to be severed. Your items are dumped unceremoniously on the floor. See what you can observe. You're in a hurry, sure, but that doesn't mean you can't take a moment to peek through the huge telescope. You find a gap in the clouds. It seems a flurry of smaller meteoroids is streaking steadily overhead. You're not sure what this means, but it is somewhat disconcerting. They are blood red. Stack a laptop on Grimoire to maximize elevation. She has achieved the perfect nerd body, perfect nerd posture. You'll need every advantage you can get. Access laboratory Wi-Fi network. There are several signals being broadcasted from the laboratory, each of relatively decent strength. One of them is mysteriously and quite conveniently unsecured, requiring no password. You select the signal and reconnect to the game with John. I'm back. Hurry up and open the door. Not that it even matters. I think I'm probably dead no matter what. Patience. You still haven't used the new totem. Huh? I believe it will create the item on the punch card. So what is it? Like an apple or something? What good will that even do? We'll see. I've found no evidence that anyone has successfully created the item, and the content of the card appears to be variable from session to session. In one instance, it was described as an eggy-looking thing. Thick. Do we have enough of those building jewels to make it? According to the Athenium, it is a free item. This speaks to its importance, in my view. Now, off you go. Remove door from hinges. There goes the rest of your build grist. Put bathtub back. You probably should have done this in the first place. Take totem to alchemiter. Got to get those stupid blocks out of the way first. The kernel sprite is getting awfully worked up about all this. Remove blocks. You store the perfectly generic objects in your Fernalia, registry, potentially to be deployed at a later time. Foreshadowing. Oh, I see. We have a fucking angel over there, and all of a sudden a fucking tree pulls up, and we have an apple. This is gonna be like this is gonna. It feels like it has some biblical symbolism, and I will see if it continues. Take bite of apple. End of Act 1. Years in the future, but not many. So that would mean that John, Rose, and the other two are at the very least 15 now. A wayward vagabond records a stuttering step in the sun-bleached dust. Act 2. I'll save this now. Game facts, Sburb data. Tentacle Therapist, Sanctuary Remix, Winnie the Pooh 2, and Chaos Demon. Sburb data walkthrough, version 1.0, April 13th, 2009, by Tentacle Therapist. Table of contents 1. Caveats and condolences 2. Walkthrough, a complete. Caveats and condolences. I'd be inclined to dispense with the trite even under less pressing circumstances. Needless to say, I'll forego the inscrutable AC banner which typically heralds the striking freefall of these documents. I'll also resist the urge to brandish any copyright marks, or the particular neuroses that concerns itself with the theft of the utterly mundane. I'll allow other deranged prospectors to stake claims on their worthless plots as the woods burn around them. My introduction will be sparse. There will be no majestic prose blustering into the sails of a galleon as we embark on this voyage together, nor will there be any ham-fisted prose whipping its limbs under a bedsheet like a retarded ghost. For that matter, I won't set the stage or dim the lights. The mood, you will see, will be set soon enough. Since you are reading this, chances are you have installed this game on your computer already. If this is true, like many others, you have just participated in bringing about the end of the world. But don't beat yourself up about it. There was never anything you could have done to prevent it. The end is happening right now as I type, and as you read. I have come to understand that we were always doomed through our collective ignorance, and now further doomed by those few who know and struggle to flee. If you're lucky, you'll be among the smaller subset of the latter who are successful. What I mean is, while that game you installed is just one more grinding slab of rock sealing our planet's crypt, it is also your only hope to live. I am presently faced with the same conundrum as you, and though I speak with more experience, my own outcome is far from assured. I will play the game, as much of it as there is to play, and record my findings here. If you want to live, you'll do as I instruct. My condolences. The Tentacle Therapist. John took a bite of the apple. Shadows grew darker, more potent. Now John, his father, and their house are stuck on a platform above an unknown sky. The kernel divides. The two halves go their separate ways, leaving behind the sprite portion. Hmm. Those are some very weird symbols. Boy! Let there be life! The biblical symbolism continues. What is left of the sprite undergoes a mysterious transformation. For a moment, you thought you heard someone say boy, as if whispered in the periphery of your awareness. It was probably just your imagination, though. You there, boy. To walk around, use the mouse, arrow keys, or WASD keys. Click on various objects to open command menus for them. Outstanding Flash programming by Alexis Granca Bengesner. This large platform. You there, boy. What's that? You there, boy. Platform. Good grief. What is it, boy? peek over the railing. Getting close to the railing makes you a little nervous. It's a long way down. It looks different now. After you bit the apple, your whole house seemed to be transported somewhere. Then the apple disappeared and the kernel sprite underwent a transformation. Aside from the change in appearance, the transformation doesn't seem to have any relevant ramifications. You still can't understand a word this idiot says. You there, boy. What? Let's take a look at this first. This large platform. Good grief. What is it, boy? The alchemiter created the apple, or the tree that sprouted it, rather, right on time to save it from destruction. You're not sure if you can say the same for your neighborhood, though. You wonder what happened to your dad. Open this door and walk through it. That man with the humorous spectacles. Admire him. Oh, Michael Sarah. Your warm smile is a shining beacon in these dark times. Do something with it. The ghost clown is called the Colonel Sprite, or rather just the Sprite now, I suppose. You can't do something with it at the moment. The only thing you can theoretically do with it is Tier 2 prototype it, assuming that's still possible. The Harlequin painting. You had the sentiment in common with John then, I suppose. We can't go down this way, so this is where we have to go right now. Actually, no, we can't do that either. Want to go back out here, boy? Wait, no. Boy, listen to me, boy. His name is John, you nincompoop. Boy, go in here. Observe the box. The bunny is not in the box. I said the bunny is not in the box. Why couldn't the bunny be in the box? Marvel at this adventure in outer space. This movie is... Okay, this movie's really bad. Not even you can defend it. You've been meaning to take this poster down, actually. Admire foes of the deceased. Most people say the second one was not as great as the first, but you feel just the opposite. It was really cool and sort of gross how they hosed each other down with slime that made people angry. TG refers to the film as Nasty Mangrove Bukkake Theater, whatever the hell that means. Sburb, this door. Explain this. Rowers sure did a number on your house, but you guess you did manage to save your life. You guess. Yeah, you guess so. But damn, that door be covering up your man-cades. Something serious. That ain't cool. This prototype, tier prototype the sprite. Or the thing you said. Do it. You're not the one who is supposed to prototype it. The Sburb server user is supposed to do that. Inspect the ghastly man and his boy. Fred Savage has a punchable face, your ass. More like a talented young actor's face, who you would want to hang out with if you got the chance, and also if he were not a fully grown man now. Anyway, the thought of monsters lurking in your house scares the shit out of you, which is why this movie is so awesome. But the fact that those monsters could also be your best friend is what makes it doubly awesome. Acquire this small Persian rug. It's a towel, dumbass. It'll probably come in handy for cleaning up this weird mess in your room. Not that it's a huge priority. Glass. What would you like, boy who is John, to do? At least your tire swing remains unmolested. A tree without a tire swing is like a house without a surrounding neighborhood, you guess. This huge sewing machine. Of what use is it? The punch card seemed to contain the instructions for carving a totem of a certain shape. You guess maybe other punch cards will produce different shapes. It bears further exploration. This funny man text, you should ignore it. Just looking at the cover cracks you up. What a great book. Harry Anderson is your hero. And Mike Cavanagh's glowing treatment of the man does him every bit of justice. You'll have to give this another read soon. Go over the door that is not here. Okay, we're back out. We're back here. Okay. Let's take a look. What's that? It looks different now. After you bit that apple, your whole house seemed to be transported somewhere. Then the apple disappeared, and the kernel spy underwent a transformation. Aside from the change in appearance, the transformation doesn't seem to have any relevant ramifications. You still can't understand a word the city says. Oh, it says that. Okay. I don't want this. I want computer. I want computer. Investigate this device. John, are you there? It seems you are still connected to the internet. Rose is trying to get in touch with you. You'll reply in a moment, once you have fully assessed your situation. What's down here? Proceed, boy. The man, the myth, the legend. What do you have up your sleeve there, Anderson? Look at that poker face. He's not telling a soul. Go in there now. The bathroom. Your plumbing appears faulty. Man, Rose did such a piss poor job of fixing the bathroom, it would almost certainly be a mistake to try to use a toilet. I guess you could just go pee over the edge of a cliff. Leave it once. Open this. Your dad's room is still locked. It will always be locked. You have no intention of turning your head to observe this dreadful thing. What is the meaning of this rubbish? Okay, even you have to admit this one's pretty funny. Captured again by the old man. Move this absurd edifice and exit your house. This thing weighs a ton. You'd honestly be surprised if the game cursor could lift it, or at least not without a significant expense of grist. Of all the places for Rose to drop the infernal thing, more than ever you feel what's the word you're looking for. Of course, house trapped. They're trying to avoid the title as much as possible. Use this to reseal that opening there. If only putting the lid back on the corkscrew would undo all it's done. Alas, Pandora's tube has been opened. Topple the urn immediately. That would be disrespectful to your Nana. You just won't do it. Not intentionally, at least. You consider that it is fortunate she is no longer around to witness his sorrow. On the other hand, you would probably benefit from her elderly wisdom now. Any of those things would make a fine weapon, if only your strife specimen wasn't already allocated. Oh well. Destroy these diminutive diminutive soldiers of merriment. It hardly seems worth it to go to the bother. You doubt you could get much for them at a garage sale even. Maybe a grubby palm of pennies and a kick in the nuts for the whole lot of 'em. Bile, pay no mind to this filth. What is he even doing there? Playing with a ball or something? Clowns are stupid. It's not a clown, it's a harlequin, John! Here, boy, in here. Open this iron vault, boy. You don't know the combination. This one offers a friendly wave, but yeah, this is really just another stupid piece of shit. Look here. The void. It's dark out there. Can't see anything for miles. Read unpleasant literature. Serious gestures. Serious Gesture magazine. For those from whom clowning around is serious business. Okay. So far, from what I can gather from this work, the main focus is on John, and particularly when it comes to the narrative aspect of John, he's meant to be someone who feels like he lacks something in life. And like he's lacked something in life for a long time. He has everything he wants. He could need. He has a loving father, food, a house, games, friends, but he's still feeling that he's missing something. He feels like he's stuck somewhere. And his father is meant to be almost a representation of that, or rather than a representation, what's likely to happen should he continue down this path without change. Because his father very clearly does not like the job. He loves his son. He also has everything he wants. He loves his son. He has food, a house, everything. Except for a wife, wherever she is, if she exists or if she ever existed. But he still works seemingly a dead end job. And in order to compensate for I'll just call it depression he feels at his job, he needs to surround himself and his son with sources of merriment, like harlequins. The Colonel Sprite being a harlequin, I don't know yet since I can't exactly tell much when it comes to that. As for the potential biblical symbolism from earlier, it's perchance meant to be representative of either the apple of life or the apple of knowledge. If it's the apple of knowledge, then we're likely to have John gain knowledge on how he could potentially achieve true merriment, hence why the Colonel Sprite evolved after that. But if it's meant to be representative of the apple of life, then it could be the same, but with life in the detail. He's finally gaining a life, and that would also still be supported by the Colonel Sprite. It seems like both interpretations are equally valid. Now, why doing that sent you all the way to here and the game being destructive? Perhaps it has to do with the fact that the game itself was another attempt at John trying to find that fulfillment in a trivial matter which wouldn't truly give it to him, and him realizing that caused this, and it applies to everyone, while this being sent to the void, we'll call it for now, after eating the apple, could very well be representative of the depression, or I'll just call it the depressive state you're in at the beginning of a journey where you try to find meaning. I may be pulling a Rick and Morty and being very meta in the fact that he's potentially going through a hero's journey. Is this tobacco burning apparatus? Yuck, you still have the pipe taste in your mouth. This is the continue, so I'll presume it's not. This is a mess, boy. You're so glad your dad wasn't watching when you did this. He never would have let you hear the end of it. Inspect this merry band of performers. Cirque du Soleil once filed a restraining order against your father. You were never so embarrassed in your life. Okay, that actually kind of supports that the man is so stuck trying to find actual enjoyment that he got a restraining order against one of those sources. Return to the large room of the ghost paintings. No, I want to go here. You're not the one who fuck. I'm trying to get over here. This way, through the doors like you see a cowboy saloon. Sniff vegetables. Doesn't smell like anything. Where's Dad? Dad! Father! Where are you? Sample powdered uncooked dessert. Back, you miserable wench. Stay thy choking airborne particulates of temptation. Examine this artwork. Harlequin pin and green thing. Your dad was so proud when you drew this. He hung it up immediately and it stayed there ever since. That was 1 week ago. What is a telephone? Boy, this is a telephone, boy. Use it. The phone doesn't work. Peeking bowl of goo. Wherever your dad went, he seems to have left in a hurry. This book is too big for a young, stupid boy. Colonel Sassacres is your favorite book. almost as favorite as Wise Guy. They are both your favoritist of all time. Plunder chest. Would you like to play a game? That instruction does not do anything at the moment. Turn to the room of the dead hag's remains. Fuck you, John. Don't call your Nana a dead hag. Operate this instrument. Play your favorite haunting refrain. Hmm. It's meant to be. What would it mean? Hmm. Oh, oh. Let's check over here now. Open this door now. Over here. This is no time for laundry. You're right. Thank you for being sensible about it. Exit, boy. Open these and rifle through them for good. You don't give a shit about what's in there. Probably nothing you'd be inclined to use now. Exit, boy. No electricity. Fiddle with the bright, sparkly things. That sounds incredibly dangerous, John. Sensibly discard your awful advice. Ponder lawn amusement. Your childhood nemesis, the spring-mounted pogo ride, sadly was not swallowed by the void. You'll have to wait another day for its comeuppance. Boy, engage this mangled trapeze display. Looks like your swing set is toast. You'll relive fond memories in a moment of sorrow. Claim the dangling tree double. The trick handcuffs are still there. Thank God. And no, you're not about to try to claim them just now. Could you please turn the controls over to a more competent user? Fuck you, John. I'm doing my best, boy. I'm doing my best. Admire this mounted gadget. Even though through some mysterious force, your house still seems to be powered, even though the wires are severed. Quite bizarre. Yeah, this is. Like I said, it could represent the depression aspect, and more so how someone who has that realization and who at the start attempts to try and find it might attempt to find it in loneliness and more so isolation, the sort of depression that keeps you locked up in your house. And that should be everything, so we can do this now. Boy, quit all this scurrying around. For the last time. This boy's name is John. Fine. John, return to your quarters. You go back up to your bedroom, tiptoeing around this weird petroleum-based sludge. Now, John, respond to your friend unit. Who is this? John, are you there? Tentacle therapist is now an idle chum. Yeah. Hey, yeah, I'm here. And not dead, I think. I know. I've been watching you scramble through the house like a lunatic. Should have answered me sooner. Oh man, sorry. I was looking around for my dad and I can't find him anywhere. Have you seen him? No. I'm sure he'll turn up. We have more important things to address right now. Yeah? Like where am I? I don't know that either, but I've determined your neighborhood was destroyed by the meteor. Wherever you're transported, it saved you from the impact. I've been reading reports in the news. Over the last few days, there have been many smaller meteor collisions with people's homes around the world, and they seem to be getting bigger. Yours was the biggest they've identified so far. Wow, okay. So then I guess if this is all the game's doing, then the point is for us to save the world? Perhaps. Then we'd better get moving and figure this game out. Yeah, but wait. We should retrieve your PDA yet again. It'll help to keep tags on each other while you investigate. I think I can get you closer to it if I can replenish our grist supply somewhat. There may be a way to recycle some of that some that we already use. Okay, I'll meet you out on the balcony. Wait, Rose, one thing. What? You never even wished me a happy birthday. Um, hello? I was working on something to send you, but I was running late with it. I didn't want you to think I believed meager well wishes alone would suffice for the occasion. That said, happy birthday, John. Oh geez, that is silly. Anyway, thanks. Hmm. First, take the fabric item on the floor there. The towel? Why? Oh well, you're the boss. Capture log the towel. What now? Do as the purple text says. To the balcony. John makes his way to the balcony, per your awkwardly worded request. Wait. Take that. The blue wobbly thing. You whimsically decide to capture log the totem which was used to create the apple tree earlier. John, recycle the grist as was dictated by your cohort. John cannot do anything with the grist as of this moment. That is up to the Sburb player. I see. Yes, that will suffice. Rose deletes the perfectly generic objects. 6 units of build grist are restored to your grist cache. Rose expends the grist to drag a new plank from the balcony in the direction of the PDA. John, run across the precarious platform swiftly. John isn't sure about that. It's a long way down. Boy, I said make haste on the narrow catwalk. John is very nervous about the idea, and the strident tone of your command is starting to make him a little upset. Fine. Proceed as your level of comfort dictates. He goes slowly. You cautiously walk within range of the PDA. Rose retrieves it. Now take it. No, Harlequin statue! You grab the PDA, launching one of the Harlequin figurines into the night. You can kiss that one goodbye. Sorry, I'm still a bit stuck on the whole you didn't even wish me a happy birthday thing. I'm presuming that that's meant to represent John in his depression attempting to find connection through his friends and cohortship as opposed to wishing for them to send him physical forms of affection. He's simply waiting for an emotional form of affection like a wish happy birthday. Hence why he also calls it silly. Just one command will suffice. Thanks. It looks like you're not the only one trying to allocate your father after the disaster. The following matters have been submitted in a frank and forthright manner for Pipe Fan 413's judicial appraisal. Fedora Freak. Thank you all. Report. Most hats removed from danger. Ties next. Well pressed attire. Fedora Freak, you are in our thoughts, along with Pipe Fan 413 and his enviable collection of pipes. Office Urchin 1280. Good luck, Fedora Freak. Salvage as many hats as is practical. Fedora Freak. Neighboring house struck by flaming projectile. In light of fire hazard, evacuating house of all expensive garments. Gray Slack 66 at Pipe Fan 413. Status of health slash wardrobe. Well pressed attire. Submitting inquiry of concern over cataclysmic event. Pipe Fan 13 reply. These boring men are uninteresting. John, are you okay? You seem a bit tentative. I'm fine, I guess. Since I got here, I feel compelled to do these weird things I don't really want to do. Some kind of voice that I can't really even hear. I don't know. It is hard to explain. Perhaps the early symptoms of an anxiety disorder? Like post-traumatic stress? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Well, if you can pull yourself together, there are a few more things we should try. Like prototyping the kernel spread again, if possible. We should hurry. My laptop battery won't last forever. Okay, I'll go back inside. No, don't do that. Hop off this ledge onto that car. What? No, that sounds incredibly dangerous. Okay, I think this voice is meant to be that depression. This is seeming a lot like an attempt at suicide. So it's very much so feeling in line with that interpretation of this being depression, and perhaps this voice being the thoughts that come with it, like you said, and with the whole post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a mental thing, meant to represent that at least. Now you're just being a pest. Which turnip truck did you just tumble out of anyway? Who are you? Years in the future, but not many. An unsealed tunnel welcomes hot desert air into its stagnant depths. Boy, you there, boy. Okay, so is this guy who's typing it, this person? We don't know who they are. An examination of the basics. Upon connecting with the client user, you, the server user, will be met with a control panel allowing you to manipulate your co-player's environment. You'll find that you are allowed to deploy 4 items at no expense. 3 of these are rather large machines, and one is a punch card. It's quite possible that you have already deployed some of these items before reading this. If this is the case, and you have activated the machine called the Crux Trader, such that it displays a countdown, you must proceed to section A100 of this walkthrough immediately. The life of the client user depends on it, and if your co-player has activated this device in your environment too, then yours does as well. But if not, please refrain from doing anything with the Crux Trader, aside from merely deploying it. This will buy you some time to think things through properly, and to go over the basics of the game before you find your soft, easily punctured head in the jaws of the lion. As mentioned, there are 4 items to consider, each playing a role in a process which appears to have a singular purpose: to manufacture objects out of thin air. The designers of the game, judging by the language used, regard this process as a sort of alchemy. This may allude to complexities in the production process yet to present themselves, but for now the variety of objects you are able to create remains quite limited. The items in question are the Crux Trader, again tread lightly with this one, the Totem Lathe, the Alchemiter, and the pre-punched card. I will describe how these devices work in conjunction with each other, and I will use the analogy of having a key made at a hardware store to help you understand. First, deploy all of these objects in convenient proximity to each other. Be sure not to block doors or pathways with them. You can always revise the dimensions of rooms to make space for them, but I advise against this, or even experimenting with the function. Doing so comes at the expense of Bilgrist, a commodity which appears to be at a premium at the onset, and one you'd be best advised to save for later. The Crux Trader. Removing the lid signals the moment your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium, somewhat resembling the chaos of an especially ethnic wedding. Somewhere, a soused uncle deliberately shatters china on the floor. Muddy livestock is decorated and then and then lost track of. The question, whose mule is this, at times can be heard over the din. This is now your reality. But aside from that, it marks the beginning of the process I am about to describe. The countdown begins. Yes. Also an entity called the kernel sprite is released. But neither of these things are all that relevant to this process, to my knowledge. More of these things later. What is relevant is the unlidded Crux Trader's ability to dispense Cruxite dolls. It will dispense at least one, though I suspect it is capable of producing more, given parameters I am not yet familiar with. In my key-making analogy, these dolls represent the uncarved pieces of metal which the hardware store employees retrieve from a drawer or a rack, and sets about carving into a key. The 2 following items are needed to do the carving. Given the fact that this is meant to be an alchemical process, that actually explains a lot on why it creates a tree and such, and gives it even more reason to believe there is some sort of biblical symbolism. Given the whole point of alchemy was to reach that enlightenment. which in this scenario I presume would be fulfillment, the fulfillment that John is looking for. Now I'm trying to think why Rose being the one with it and the one in control of said enlightenment is important, and what this other creature is. Given Rose is the only friend to not send a gift, and the only one that John was actively seeking that happy birthday from, she's richer, she's next to a laboratory. Hmm, I will think on it more. But that's genuinely what it seems to be in this scenario, is meant to be more biblical symbolism in connection with that alchemy, which is what the Crux is obviously meant to represent. The pre-punch card. It is a simple Siladex card containing an item. There is evidence to suggest the specific item it contains is variable from session to session. The card I deployed contained a blue apple. Yours may be different. It shouldn't matter, hopefully. Additionally, the card, as you may guess, is punched like one used with antique computing systems. The pattern of holes comprises data, which I believe corresponds to the instructions for creating the item the card contains. That it is pre-punched suggests there is a way to punch an unpunched card, possibly imprinting it with the data for the item it contains, though no mechanism for this has presented itself yet. But the data on the card cannot be used to create the item directly. There is a middleman. That middleman is the totem lace. I'm gonna drink some water. Jeez. My throat. Hmm. The totem lathe. This is essentially the key carving machine. It will carve into your Crookside doll a pattern of grooves and contours, the sort which makes a key unique. The instructions for this pattern are supplied by the Kunst card, which is inserted into the lathe pre-activation to configure its chisels. Once the doll is carved, you have a totem serving as your key, which can then be used to unlock the card item through the alchemiter. But at this point, I will not diverge from my key-making analogy and switch to a barcode analogy, which is not a terribly strenuous leap to make, since the concepts of a key and a barcode are essentially the same, one being a unique pattern of grooves, the other of varying black lines. The alchemiter. Place a Crookside doll, carved or uncarved, on the alchemiter's small pedestal. Its robotic arm will scan the contours with a laser, hence the barcode analogy. This is the machine's way of reading the data originally imprinted from the card, and transforming that data into a physical object. Though typically this is not done without expense, I believe, an uncarved doll results in the creation of a perfectly generic object, which is seemingly useless green cube. It costs 2 units of build grids to make, and I do not advise you to waste resources on it. There appears to be many other varieties of grists, ostensibly used in combination to create different sorts of items, which possibly offers some insight into the game's use of the term alchemy. But quite conveniently, there is an exception to this. Crafting the item on the pre-punched card costs nothing. This is good, because creating the item turns out to be essential. Now that you know this, you can in your own time begin this process. Once you initiate it naturally, there is no going back, so best to be prepared. But you probably shouldn't drag your feet too long, as I mentioned earlier. This is your only means of escape. When you're ready, be prepared to follow the steps in the next section swiftly. I think the reason why Rose is meant to be the one who does this, who's controlling it. Perhaps he's meant to be someone who's further along down the road than John is, who already realized it. Someone who's already began her depression, which would explain her location, her goth aesthetic, the connect, and more so the uniqueness of her. She's not the wizard that John is, she's instead the witch who has got the H.P. Lovecraft connection. Lovecraft's work itself tackling on knowledge and such that humanity is not necessarily ready for always, and knowledge that could prove to be their downfall unless they were able to comprehend it and prepare for it. So it seems like the reason why she might be the one who was needed to be in control of John's situation is because of the fact that she's further along down the road and acts as a sort of mentor to him in that road. It also explains her knowledge on it also explains why she's the one who has knowledge on psychoanalysis. I think my interpretation is getting somewhere at least. Meteors. Jesus, bro, your hands, what's up with them? You got 3 fingers. In the distance, meteorites fall with greater frequency. The fire in the forest burns so hot, not even the rain is putting it out. Check status of battery. Your laptop battery is alright for now, but it won't be for long. If the power in the house doesn't come back on, you can think of one last result. The small backup generator stored behind the mausoleum. Prototype sprite with Betty Crocker box. What? Oh man, you're going to use that? That sucks. What a stupid idea. We have to hurry along. I'm running low on battery power. But the cake mix. That's so dumb. I doubt it matters. We might as well just use any old crab lying around. Fine, I guess. The sprite is playing hard to get. You guess that's what you get for originally prototyping it with something that engenders mischief and pranksterism. Do the potted vegetable instead. It looks delicious. Pipe down, you. This is Rose's decision, not yours. Prototype sprite with Sasakare text. Oh yes, sweet. Now we're talking. See if you can distract it. I'll try to sneak up on it. John, fill about in a distracting manner. I'll change my voice for the capital letters now that we figured out that it's an entirely different person from the characters here. The sprite finds the distracting manner in which you flail about to be rather distracting. The pesky sprite eludes you again. Not even the great Colonel himself can outfox it. In narrowly missing with your attempt to create the Colonel sprite, you drop the massive tome. The entire house rattles under the astonishing girth of the book. In the other room, Nan's ashes dump onto the sprite, which is caught unawares by the dousing. Inspect Hag Ash. Wait. Inspect Hag Ash incident. You find the sacred urn toppled again. This time you're quite sure it wasn't your fault. The sprite is nowhere to be found. Remove Cruxtruder from doorway. Ah man, where'd it go? I can't find it anywhere in the house. No time to worry about it. Next thing we should do is get your server copy of the game from the car. You need to connect to my client so I can repeat your steps and presumably join you wherever you are. We should do this quickly before my house burns down. What? There's a fire? There will be soon. Oh jeez. So move this thing already. It looks like it requires a lot of grist to move. I don't have enough to relocate the door either. How much do you have? 0. Oh, Thought about jumping to the car from the ledge earlier, but that sounds really dangerous. I have a better idea. Meet me upstairs. Do again as purple words say. You're about to head upstairs, but you thought you heard something behind you. It was faint, but you could swear it was a small, light-hearted chuckle, along the lines of a spirited "hoo hoo." Ignore this woman's antics. You're not sure you even saw a woman, let alone any of her, and any of her hypothetical antics, but whatever it was you might have caught a glimpse of, it sure gave you the willies. You head upstairs on your way to the balcony. Your PDA is acting up again. Indulge the device, but be curt with it. Hey bro, check it out. I'm working on some new rhymes. Dude, I don't have time for your nerdy raps. Come on, this is hells of a hill, just listen. It sounds like you don't even believe me that I was about to get blown up, but I really was. But now I'm in some weird dimension that Sburb sent me to or something. And now on top of that, I think I'm being haunted by my dead grandma. Huh, for real? Yeah, it's true, but I'll talk to you later about it. I mean, I think I could drop some sick rhymes about all this. Man, I just don't think all the rapping stuff is really as cool as you think it is. No, this will be dope. Check it. No, I have to go. Bye. Wait. Armageddon's getting waged on us, but Armageddon armed and dangerous, sending men in space for saving us. See which player is more courageous. Banner Bruce, do truth, put their blow touches to use and upsuck it. Affleck's sacrifice. Sacrifice. Sacrifice would have to suffice. Fuck it. Bro, be a stained glass saint. Up on cross, getting hella Christ plagiarist. Bruce is like, off of that crucifix. Crucifix. Never this fucking savor of us. Restrained his ass. Per McLean Redux. While Buscemi remained dangerous. When the plan gone astray, pays off a wasted craterus. Ashtray, catering to layers of Matt McConaughey's vague remainder dust. Wait, McConaughey wasn't even in any of those Meteor movies, was he? I'll have to make a rap about it. About, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or something being the president. It'll be called Obama Made It So That No One Gives a Shit About Black Presidents in Movies Anymore. See, you've got to film me. I'm in on what's going on, so I have something to rap about besides all your dumb shit movies. Enough strange poetry from the red text. You head out to the balcony to find out what Rose has in mind. She's messaging you again. The purple text is less irrational than the red text. I'm lifting the car up to the balcony. Wow, okay. Once it is up, retrieve the game, then I'll put it back down in the driveway. But the door is locked. Then break a window. But it's my dad's car. It's just a window, and this is sort of an emergency. Otherwise, I promise I'll handle the car with velvet gloves. Alright, pick up car. Connection lost. No! Ridiculous folly. Inexcusable. You're inclined to agree. But hey, accidents happen. Double check your PDA to make sure Rose is really gone. Indeed, this seems to be the case. TG is still pestering you, of course, but another chum is now logged in as well. What color are the words that this chum says? I'm back! Oh, hi. I went to investigate the explosion I heard. Was it by any chance a meteor? Yes! How did you know? Oh man, it's kind of a long story. Anyway, are you okay? Did it blow up your yard or start a fire or anything? No, I'm fine. It landed a pretty good ways from my house, and I went to look at it. It's pretty big, but Beck doesn't want me to go near it, so I came home. He seems to think it's dangerous. Well, gosh, he's probably right. Anyways, what have you been up to, John? Oh, did you get my package yet? Uh, I was trying to get it, but Rose dropped my car into a weird, spooky, bottomless pit, and the package was in the car. And I'm really sorry about that. Oh no! Wow. Okay, I guess I should start at the beginning. See, a meteor blew up my neighborhood. That's terrible, John. I'm sorry. But I'm okay. My house is too, sort of. A game I was telling you about, Sburb, which I was playing with Rose, sort of transported me somewhere at the last minute, but now I'm trapped here and it's weird and dark and I can't find my dad and I just lost the car and my copy of the game in the pit and I think I have to save the world from the apocalypse. Well, it sounds really crazy and kind of scary, but it also sounds kind of exciting. I don't know, John, maybe this is your destiny. If anyone can save the world, I think it is probably you. Wow, you think so? Yes. Well, okay, but it's not even that simple. I was about to connect to Rose to help transport her and save her from meteors and fire and stuff, but she lost battery power and I lost the game disc. So I think I have to get TG to use his copy to save her. That jackass won't shut up and stop rapping and stuff. He is so silly. Yeah, anyway, I should talk to him about it. So, BRB. The green text was attractive. Now view the red text again. When the film crew zooms where the president's at, I'm like, if that dude's black, I'll eat my hat. Turns out he is, so we're all damn directors got gumption. Like we'll all flip our shit and he ain't shining shoes or something. It's called free emancipation. If it's not press election, it's God ascension. In Bruce Almighty, whoops. Different Bruce from the one I just mentioned. Ah! Can't explain to me why this ain't condension to think I'll shoot a brick. Not even he can convey the intention with his quick-spun wit. Rather defray all this tension, sit on his lap while he whittles a splint. Some guy's eye what he does and patronizes. I guess I'm not saying that. The mother of invention. Stop rapping for a second, you horse's ass. I have something important to talk about. What's up? Rose is in trouble and she needs help. I was going to connect to her with Sburb, but I lost my copy. Okay. Also, she lost battery power. If she can get back up and running, she'll need someone with a game to get her out of there before her house burns down. So I think you should use your copy of the game to help her. My copy? That's going to be tough. Why? I lost it. It's a stupid story and I'd rather not talk about it. Should be embarrassing, yo. I thought you said you had two. Well, yeah. One is my brother's copy. Okay, well get his then. Alright. But he's not going to be happy about that. Whatever. Also, you might want to read Rose's walkthrough to get up to speed on this. Oh man, what? What? Nothing really. Look, all I'm saying is a girl tends to lay it on kind of thick, you know? Slash rolls eyes. Your laptop is out of battery power. There's only one thing left to do. Time to make your way to that backup generator. Knit laptop cozy to shield your laptop from the rain. Beautiful. That would be such a waste of time. Besides, you already knitted one a while ago. You retrieve it from your knitting bag and apply it to your laptop. You capture log the laptop plus cozy. Equip grimoire to strife specimens. That would be incredibly ill-advised. There are some dark forces you just don't want to mess around with. You understand this better than most. You put the book down. Okay, yeah. So my interpretation later that the reason why she needs to be the one who she was the one who was helping John, aside from the possibility of the whole your friends can help you achieve fulfillment through connection and such, they can help you from this situation, is the fact that she literally has more knowledge than most and is further down the road. Recapture log your items. You grab the knitting bag and the grimoire, in that order. It's always a logistical puzzle with your tree modus. The tree auto-balances, leaving the knitting bag accessible in the root card. Allocate knitting needles to stripe specimens. You feel a lot more comfortable with this as a weapon. You're so handy with those needles, you feel like you could probably use them to fillet a swordfish. You lose the root card in the process, severing the tree. Hey, careful with all that stuff. Knit, knit plush cattle Cthulhu to soothe nerves. That would also be a preposterous waste of time. Besides, you're quite sure you've never heard of this creature called Cthulhu before. There are, however, many similar specimens of the zoologically dubious you're familiar with, such as consult the grimoire. Fluflu, foul patrician of misery. To hear his mammoth belly gurgle is to know the epoch of joy has come to an abrupt end. He's got some of those weird symbols from earlier, but obviously more eldritch looking. And Nurub Yiglith, shame beast king of grotesquerie, wraith lord of the moist beyondhood. Hearing his melodious chirps and tongue clicks causes one's bones to explode. And he has a lot of fluflus next to him. It seems to be perhaps the mother. And of course, there's Uglagoth, the deep one. Whenever he grinds his teeth, all the children of a random galaxy somewhere will frown continuously for a 9,000-year span. He is the first and smallest of the smaller gods, appointed in servitude of the vile, unfathomable pantheon of middling gods, which caters to the whims of the noble circle of authoritarians, an omniscient, omnipotent order of the elite few, forever cloaked in the darkness of the furthest ring. And then there's this strange page containing some rather mysterious notes on summoning procedures. You've never been quite sure what these diagrams are getting at. Take items to proceed downstairs. You recapsulog everything the way you want it to appear in the tree, and head downstairs. You figure that's enough dilly-dallying. Time to get moving on. Time to get a move on. I'm gonna drink more water. I need this. No, I'm all out of water. Fuck. Oh god. Lucky for me, I have Monster here, so let's continue reading. You wonder if this rain will ever let up. It's driven since the month began, perhaps long enough to forget its purpose. It no longer even knows to assuage fire. Somewhere a zealous god threads these strings between the clouds and the earth, preparing for a symphony it fears impossible to play. So it threads on, delaying the rays of the conductor's baton. How you hate this season. April is the coolest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. American sports lesson, Charles Barkley. Hmm. Hmm. Perhaps this is also another narrative aspect. It's meant to represent to us how Rose is, and more specifically, how she's driven towards something. Perhaps driven towards attaining this enlightenment and knowledge, but how in these attempts she can't actually assuage the negative aspects of her life that she was originally trying or capable of doing so with her road to fulfillment. Here's a possible explain, so it threads on and on the length of rays and conductor's baton. Yeah, see, that's what I think it is. In her achievement of, she can't achieve fulfillment. Her road is simply too. She's simply been stuck on the road for so long that she can't even solve the issues. Confront mother in hall. Surely your mother is lurking nearby. You should be prepared for an unpleasant confront. What? There's this really cool dude, okay? He's standing around being all chill. Like cool dudes are known to do sometimes. A cool dude like this probably has a real cool name, but he probably wouldn't just tell you what it was if you asked. He'd be way too busy for that. Busy being totally sweet. But you could always try to guess his name, and if you're right, he might nod ever so slightly. That's a cool dude's way of letting you know there might just be hope for you yet. Enter name. This guy doesn't have time for this sort of bullshit. Try again. Dave Strider. He didn't even nod. His glasses just brightened. Examine room. Your name is Dave. It is an unseasonably warm April day. Your bedroom window is open to let some air in, and your fan is cranked. Arguably even more cranked would be your fly beats, which brings us to your variety of interest. A cool dude like you is sure to have plenty. You have a penchant for spinning out unbelievably ill jams with your turntables and mixing gear. You like to rave about bands no one's ever heard of, but you collect weird dead things preserved in various ways. You're an amateur photographer and operate your own makeshift websites and social networking profiles. And if the inspiration strikes, you won't hesitate to drop some fat rhymes on a mofo and represent. What will you do? Quickly retrieve arms from cinder blocks. Nah, get the damn beta and save your friend's life. This notion strikes you as nonsensical. You can't imagine how a game could save someone's life. And in any case, you're quite sure no one you know is in any danger. Anyway, these are the copies of the beta you received in the mail recently. You've labeled them with your name in bold red print to distinguish them from your bro's copies, who labeled his in kind. Neither of you really give a shit about this game or has any intention of playing it, but you'll be damned if you'll let that get in the way of your campaign of one-upmanship. Bleat like a goat and piss on your turntable. You never consider allowing any fluid, even remotely resembling urine, to touch your beloved turntables. That would risk breaking them, and a world without the gift of your godly science just doesn't sound like a place you want any part of. While you're at it, you might as well wipe out human civilization with a meteor or something ridiculous like that, which will probably never happen. That sort of thing only happens in stupid idiot movies for stupid idiots. You will, however, contemplate beating like a goat for ironically humorous purposes at a later date. Examine closet. This is your closet. This is where you keep a lot of your crap. Like that box and that bottle of. What is that? Is that. Check the blue box. This is the package that your friend John Egbert sent you for your 13th birthday a little while ago. It now contains nothing except a note and a certificate of authenticity vouching for the genuine Hollywood memorabilia which the box originally contained, and which you are now wearing to be ironic, but also to be incredibly cool in a somehow intangibly related to the ironic nature of the accessory. You find it sort of exasperating to explain these subtleties to people. The box also included a signed photo of Ben Stiller, which now proudly hangs above your closet, proudly and ironically. Okay, so we can obviously tell that Dave over here has issues with admitting things he likes, which is going to probably be his road to fulfillment that he has to overcome, is to admit to himself the things he likes, and that he doesn't need to be cool for anyone. You capture log the box through your hash map fetch modus. Your modus's current hash function resolves the index by valuing each consonant at 2, and each vowel at 1. Total is divided by your number of cards, and the remainder is the index. Box 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 5. 5 divided by 10 equals 5. Wait, what? The box is capture logged in card 5. Dave examined jar of unknown yellow substance in the closet. Oh, hell yes. It is an unopened container of apple juice. You thought you were all out. It is like a fucking Christmas up in here. This is so great. You've got to tell John about this immediately. He'll be so excited. He is my autistic boy. I immediately love him. He is so autistic. He's brilliant. You capture log the juice into card 7. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. 10 equals 7. Access Pester Chum and Pester John. In addition to letting your buddy know about this outstanding juice windfall, you figure you'll wish him a happy birthday while you're at it. In your own cool, sort of roundabout way, of course. Good thing you looked at that box he sent you, or you might have forgotten. You also might as well ask him about that beta. The kid's been harping about it for weeks. It'd be cool if it came on his birthday. He'd be one happy camper. Those rhymes, Avestas, complete bullshit, ill beach, and pester chum. Turntech Godhead began pestering ectobiologists at 13 past 6. Hey, so what sort of insane loot did you rake in today? I got a little monster poster. It's so awesome. I'm gonna watch it again today. The apple juice scene was so funny. Oh hell, that is such a coincidence. I just found an unopened container of apple juice in my closet. It's like a fucking Christmas up in here. Okay, that's fine. But I have just one question and then a word of caution. Have you ever seen a movie called Little Monsters starring Howie Mandel and Fred Savage? But the seal on the bottle is unbroken. Are you suggesting someone put piss in my apple juice at the factory? All I'm saying is, don't you think Monster Howie Mandel has the power to do something as simple as reseal a bottle? Try using your brain, numbnuts. Why did the fat kid or whoever drank it know what piss tasted like? I mean, his reaction was nigh instantaneous. It was the 15th day in a row Howie Mandel peed in his juice. Okay, I can accept that. Monster B-list celebrity douchebags are cunning and persistent pranksters. Also, Fred Savage has a really punchable face. But who cares about this? Let's stop talking about it. Did you get the beta yet? No. Did you? Man, I got 2 copies already. I don't care. I'm not going to play it or anything. The game sounds boring. Did you see how I got slammed in Game Bro? Game Bro is a joke and we both know it. Yeah. Why don't you go check your mail? Maybe it's there now. Alright. Go online and view sites indicative of your interests. You open the Hephaestus web browser and direct it to your ironically maintained blog where you post monthly satirical reviews of Game Bro magazine. Your latest post is a review of the March issue, so a review of a review magazine. You've been meaning to write a review for the latest issue too, but you've been sort of dogging it. Something about the game they're reviewing just doesn't strike you as ripe for satirical purposes. Let's see the March issue. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love every aspect of this. This is so MLG culture that I'm given nostalgia for it. They even have the Doritos. The only thing they're missing is the Mountain Dew. They have all the chips though. Grand snack, fuck yeah. In a new tab, you open another one of your sites, a webcomic ironically maintained through a satirical cipher vaguely similar to that of your blog, called Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. We have legions of devoted fans, most of whom are totally convinced of your creative persona's sincerity, which is just how you like it. Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. Let's check this out. I can't wait to be a useless piece of shit all day and play all these games. Fuck, I'm falling down all these stairs. I warned you about the stairs, bro. I told you, dog. It keeps happening. I told you, man. I told you about stairs. Oh, yeah, bitches. Let's make me some money. I hope the ad is for some pornography. Oh, God, that is. Next comic. We're gonna save this for a different time. Check the latest page on the Midnight Crew of the Midnight Crew. You figured as long as you're chilling at your computer, you might as well see how that new Microsoft Paint Adventure story is going. You haven't looked at it in a while. Midnight Crew. You are members of a sinister gang called the Midnight Crew. Your nefarious plots are serpentine in complexity. Your schemes convoluted. You are planning a heist in your underground hideout. What will you do? Shut the fuck up, Moriarty! Use Occam's razor on plans and schemes. Spade Slick uses Occam's razor to carve a circular hole into the heist plans, freeing it from the knife. You wonder what moron would jam the knife so hard into the table in the first place. Climb ladder and exit hideout. Implement nefarious plots. You push against the manhole cover, but it seems some unbelievable jackass has parked your getaway van on top of it. A familiar feeling stirs. That feeling is overwhelming. Soul-blackening rage. It's a sort of rage that'll make a man feel totally justified in sporting an unnecessarily elaborate assortment of fancy blades. Skip ahead 100 pages or so. You don't remember where you last left off, so you jump way ahead. You always forget to save your place in the story. Looks like tempers have become short in this pressure cooker already. Speculate that the tipping point may have been an ill-advised motion for a game of 52 pickup. Save your place. Read it later. What the fuck? Whose hand is that? Hold on, was that there earlier? No, it wasn't. Save your place. Read it later. Is that John? Not Blue. Even though the adventure began recently, it's already over 3,000 pages long. You just don't have time for this bullshit. You'll catch up later. Besides, it looks like someone's pestering you. You're pretty sure you know who it is. Answer chum. In some cultures, the persistent refusal of a lady's invitation to play a game with her would be a sign of wanton disrespect. Either that or flagrant homosexuality. What? Oh no, look, no, look, I'm busy, okay? I've got a lot of shit on my plate. I'm sort of a big deal, okay? I know. Sometimes I wonder how you are ever allowed to pay for meals in restaurants. Must be hard to keep a low profile when you're always overhearing odd voices whisper, "Is that guy who has a blog?" Seriously, dudes be worshipping me left and right. I can't hardly walk down the street without stepping over torsos of the prostrate. Navigating the urban landscape, I'm sure, is difficult enough without an obstacle course of deferential flesh and skyward asses. Perhaps adapting the art of parkour to your unique environment would help. Yeah, I mean, damn, like there's this scruffy little shit at my feet, an orphan or something, I don't know, face flush on the pavement. I'm like, dude, you listening for a stampede of buffalo or something? He braves a look at me, then gives my shoe a little kiss and scurries the fuck off. Heavy as the crown. Yeah, not kicking Oliver Twist in the fucking face every day is my gift to the world, I guess. Breathtaking magnanimity, among other things. I just give and fucking give. Indeed. Nary a jewel tumbles from your wish box of daily exploits, which I imagine does not sparkle. Oh, for fuck's sake, you're just lobbying for me to play that dumb game. Baseless accusation! Look, I am telling you, Egbert is all about that game. He'll play it with you and probably be tickled retarded about it. I know this very well. I cannot hasten his mail's delivery, however. Yeah, I'll hassle him some more about it. And look, how about this? If you ever find yourself in the position where your life depends on me playing that piece of shit game, then I'll play. Will that make you happy? More than you know. It perfectly mollifies my grief over the demise of chivalry. John, what are you doing? Stop doing nothing. Meanwhile, in the present, in a place where the present may be a concept of dubious merit, John is spacing out, but a vague and forceful thought jolts him to attention. Or maybe it is that bumping sound from the other side of the door. What is that? A thick, unpleasant fluid pools from beneath the door. Troubling. Investigate this. There is a trail of this fluid in the hall leading to your room. Plays some hauntingly sick beats. You've had enough of the computer for a while. You feel like you've been messing around on it all week. It's time to get your jam on. You pull up to your trusty AK MPC 1000 sampler and prepare to get sick nasty. Left knob volume for current sample, right knob master volume, store patterns in F1, F2, F3 buttons. Take a sip of the apple juice, despite what John said. Those beets were so fresh they belong in the produce aisle, is what you're talking about. Shocker moms be thumping that shit for ripeness like melons. Know what I'm saying? After beets that fresh, it would be a crime not to reward yourself with a celebratory swig. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 divided by 10 is, that's not, I'm presuming that means just out of 10 as opposed to divided by 10. I wonder what, I know that the other character right now that's going to be introduced is Jade, and I'm already trying to figure out a bit of what her narrative position might be and what the themes she might be needing to deal with are, but I can't exactly think about it aside from perhaps the fact that she's meant to be John's situation, but to an even higher degree, where she has everything, sure, but she also has very overbearing people around her. It smells like piss. You can't do it. John's got you all twisted up inside now. All you can think about is Mandel's gross monster piss. Damn you, Egbert. You recapsulate the juice. Allocate sword to Strife Pesibus. Your Strife Pesibus is already allocated with the blade kind Abstratus. There is no need to allocate it. You can wield your sweet ninja sword as a weapon once it is in your Strife deck, but you will have to capsulog it first before moving it there. Capsulog sword. The ninja sword, 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 equals 17 out of 10 will be 7. Occupies the same card as the juice, 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7 out of 10 equals 7. Expelling the juice from your Siladex. It splashes all over your turntables and your copies of the beta. Ugh. Get a towel or something. You head out to get a towel from the bathroom across the hall. You glance at one of the many radical puppets in your bro's collection and nod in approval. Is there anything not awesome about your bro? No, you think not. Okay, so something that's like important is the fact that every single paternal figure to these characters, even if they aren't exactly truly paternal, but the ones they look up to, have some sort of bizarre obsession, from what I'm seeing. And what the reason behind that obsession could very much so represent what each of them is. My previous theory of specifically John's father being what will happen if he doesn't go down through this situation in order to find true fulfillment, a what if scenario. Very much so seems to be the case. I already explained earlier, John, about how John's like that, but then we have Rose's mother, who seems to have gotten to the case where she was on the road trying to seek that fulfillment for so long that she ended up getting spiteful of others around her, including those who were trying to do the same road, to the point where she was willing to not just, as the game would say, not put out the fire, but start causing fires instead. And it seems like the same's happening with Dave's brother over here, where he has puppets and all of that, but he's not willing to admit that but he might not be willing to admit that it's not necessarily what's considered cool, or that he's doing it ironically, in order to find true enjoyment in it. You enter the bathroom. There's a damp towel on the floor you can probably use for this crisis. You stop to pay a little respect to one of your bro's boys up there. Hey, little man, how's it hanging? Capture log, damp towel. You take the damp towel. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 15 out of 10, which is 5. Expelling the box. 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 5 out of 10, which is 5. Search the bathroom for something slightly less damp. Nah, you just decide wring this towel out into the toilet to make it less damp. It is now just a towel. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8 out of 10, which is 8. Take towel. You take the towel and grab the box again while you're at it. Clean up the juice. You clean 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8 up the juice with the towel and hang the damp beta envelopes on your line to dry off. In the breeze of the fan, the betas jostle near the open window. This arrangement is a little disconcerting. If they fell out, it sure would be a stupid way to lose them. Turn off the fan. The crisis is easily averted. You can't imagine it will ever resurface later in any way, shape, or form. That beta is as good as yours forever. This is what we in the industry call foreshadowing. You should probably go pester Egbert again. You wonder if he found the beta yet. You also might chat about your respective Syllidises and fetch modi, if the topic happens to come up. You wonder if he is anywhere near as smooth with his Sylladex as you are. Probably not. It's probably not even humanly possible. Suddenly, a rambunctious crow flies in the open window and snatches the beta, possibly to make a nest with, or maybe just for the sake of being a brainless, feathery asshole. You yell at the bird. Stop. Fling sword. You accidentally launch your ninja sword. Everything goes flying out the window, dead bird and all. No, Birdly! Why the fuck does he have a fetus? Who did you abort it from, Dave? No one can ever know about this. Look out window. Yeah, you can kiss all that stuff goodbye. You feel sorry for the bird, but at least you never planned on ever using that beta. Ever. Anyway, now that that bit of ugliness is behind you, you guess you can look forward to several more hours of messing around in your room. Oh, well, it's fucking Merlin! Monster. You prepare to descend the stairs to your living room. You're standing eye to eye with a familiar foe, a 20-foot tall granite statue of the mighty wizard Zazarpan the Learned. Your mother had him installed through a hole in the roof with a heavy-duty crane. Just look at that mystical gaze, to peer into those aloof glassy eyes as to arrest the curiosity of any mortal. To behold the wisdom concealed in the furrows of that venerable face is to know the ceaseless joys of bewilderment itself. Any man so fortunate as to catch askance his merry twinkle or twitch of whisker shall surely have all his dreams fulfilled. You find this grisly abomination utterly detestable. With that in mind, given the whole point of these wizards to be like, I presume this is her actively trying to find. This is her not putting trust in almost in like miracle cures thing, not to put trust in things like miracle cures, which claim they can grant you fulfillment immediately. Psychoanalyze mother's love of wizards. There is nothing to psychoanalyze. Your mother clearly has no real affinity for these damnable things. She only collects them to spite you. If anything, she finds them even more repellent than you do. She's just a committed woman. Go downstairs to the kitchen back door. You descend to the living room area of your home's expansive open layout. There is a sound of rushing water beneath the floor. It tends to strike guests as a strange presence in the living space, but it's become hardly audible to you through familiarity. There's the front door, but hopefully there's no need to make the long trek around the house in the rain. You might as well see if you can slip to the kitchen and out the back unnoticed. Okay, so Rose also has a Cthulhu princess thing over there, which is similar to John's own, uh, to the gift that John's dad gave him, which eventually became part of the Colonel Sprite. I wonder what that'll do. View mother's solid copper vacuum statue. Okay, but it's bronze, not copper. But it wasn't always. A while ago you gave this as an ironic gift to your mom for Mother's Day. You even customized it with a drink holder to support one of her ubiquitous alcoholic beverages. She liked the gift so much she had it bronzed and put on this pedestal. She even left it plugged in so it can still be turned on now and then, but never to do any cleaning. It never leaves its display. Sometimes at night, when you are in your room, you can hear it wailing from downstairs. She must know you can hear it. She's completely deranged. Okay, yeah, I was very much correct in the aspect that Rose's mother is meant to be her if she sticks on this path to fulfillment without ever fighting it and ends up becoming entirely spiteful to those who are also on the path. Grab the eldest princess. It's too big to capture log. Not that you would want to move it anyway. The pretty princess doll has been sitting there for months, ever since your mother got this abomination for your birthday as a totally passive-aggressive gesture. You decided to make it much less abominable by knitting Her Majesty a new head and new arms. Now it brings a mischievous smile to your face whenever you walk by. Your mother hasn't removed the doll yet, and probably never will. She would never be the one to blink first. Acquire umbrella for protection from elements. U greater than L, U lesser than V. You're going to have a hell of a time accessing that card when you need it. You guess you'll just cross that bridge later. The liquor bottles are out in full force. Mom is surely nearby. Investigate richly colored object in middle of screen. That would be your refrigerator, whose surfaces have customarily served as a battlefield for a chilly sheaves of passive-aggressive one-upmanship. This was a drawing you did of your cat Jaspers when you were younger, along with a poem about it. Your mother bought this ostentatious $15,000 frame for it, and had it welded to the door. Using the colorful magnet letters, you recently left a succinct message, which may or may not have been directed toward anyone in particular. But you couldn't find the letter W, so you just stuck two V's together. Your mother then purchased a fresh pack of W's and left them there for your convenience. Appreciative of the thoughtful gesture, left her a sincere thank you note which you had legally notarized, and then marked with a drop of blood. But part of it was touching the floor, so your mother was kind enough to lift the lower portion of the document with a velvet pillow. Attach a W to face as a fake mustache. This is incredibly silly, and you're not sure how it fits into your campaign against your mother or getting your computer back online to escape your doom. But it's hard to resist getting a little silly sometimes, especially when you are absolutely positive no one is watching. With that in mind, I honestly think that this is meant to be. I'm getting even more reasons to think what I was saying before is correct because very clearly Rose has that pettiness in her, not just with her mother. We also see earlier on when she's bickering with primarily Dave, but also John, how she can be the one to strike first, almost. W greater than L, W greater than V. But that unsightly void in the W pack won't do, nor will the gash in the plastic. You deposit 12 cents in its place, which is your approximation of the letter's value. You also make a vow to return later and neatly sew the plastic shut. Think of ways to one-up mother. You now wonder how to address the pillow situation. It seems the woman has you at a clear disadvantage. Perhaps slipping a fresh doily under the pillow will do the trick, or maybe spilling a bit of Worcestershire sauce on it, and then having it dry cleaned and returned along with a laboriously ingratiating apology note. No, there's no time for anything like that. Or maybe, just thinking out loud here, you could use the entire pack of W's as M's. Oh yes, that would burn. We've already done something with that W pack, and there's no need to go back and Gild that lily. This is delicate business. And that pillow is screaming for rebuttal. Caps log velvet pillow. You decide to take the velvet pillow and lovingly embroider a poem in praise of motherhood on it. Hopefully you can pull this off before she notices it's gone. V larger than L, VE low lesser than VI, VE greater than U. But it causes your tree to be pretty badly balanced. It surely will auto-balance itself in a moment. And just like that, the umbrella becomes accessible in the root card. That's one of the things you love about the tree modus, the happy surprises. Head out the back door. Okay, enough's enough. Time to get go. You don't know how she does that. You're never safe in this house. And of all the things to be doing during a power outage, she's up to her ironic housewife routine again. That mop bucket doesn't even have any water in it. What an absolute madwoman. Hop over counter, landing in a roll. This bird's gotta fly. Youth roll! Lousy goddamn stupid wizards. Meanwhile, in the past again. You're almost done patching up the hole in your window with the gaffer tape, but it's sort of hard to get any work done when people keep pestering you all day. You guess you better get that. Answer chum. Garden Gnostic began pestering Turntech Godhead at 24 to 7. Hi, Dave. Hey, what's up? Not much with you. Not much. Up with you, bro. Uh-huh. Good one. It's alright being chill, I guess. You know how it goes. Great. Feeling cool today, Mr. Cool Guy? Oh man, you know it. So cool. Shit is ice cold up in here. Shit is wicked bananas, I'm telling you. Smiley face. So have you talked to John today? Yeah, we were just talking a while ago about how he sucks at his Sylladex. Can you believe he used a stack? That kid's ridiculous. Lol. Well, that doesn't sound like much fun. What was it you use again? Wait, never mind. I forgot whenever we talk about your goofy moduses, I get a migraine. What do you want with John? Smiley face. I want to tell him happy birthday and ask him about his birthday package. Oh yeah, I was being sort of cagey and told him to check the mail because I was wondering if mine came yet. I think it did. Yeah, and I think mine came too. So, guess you want to know if he likes it or something? No, he will not open it. He will not. He will lose it. Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that, I guess. No, it's good actually, because you'll find it again later when he really needs it, which of course is why I sent it in the first place. See, like, I never get how you know these things. I don't know. I just know that I know. Hmm. All right. Anyway, I have to go. I have to feed Beck, which is always a bit of an undertaking. Man, if I were you, I would just take that fucking devil beast out behind the woodshed and blow its head off. I don't think I could if I tried. Yeah, say hi to your granddad for me too, okay? Yes, I guess an encounter with him is almost certain. It is usually intense. Well, yeah, isn't always a family, but he sounds like a total badass. Yeah, he totally is. Anyways, gotta go. See ya. See, mm, see ya. Uh, get phone. It will be handy to have your phone. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 8 out of 10 equals 8 on standby, so you won't always have to go back to your computer whenever someone pesters you. This way you can text message 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 18 out of 10 equals 8 people no matter where you are or what outrageously cool things you're up to. So, cool. John, pursue adversary into that room. And even meaner while, in the present sort of, once again the slippery antagonist eludes you. You only find more of these unpleasant oil smears. Someone is pestering you. Both your PDA and computer register the message. The chum will know what to do. Alright, I'm out of my room, now looking for my bro's game. Oh, good. Yeah, there's no sign of Rose yet. I hope she's okay. Well, if she comes back, I'll be ready. You better know what you're talking about, 'cause this could get ugly. Brought my phone, and I also took my awesome katana with me in case things get too hot to handle, and they always do. You mean that cheap piece of shit you have on your wall? Fuck you. It's sharp and it's awesome and it's a sword. End of story. Okay, I don't really care. I'm in my room again. I really think there's someone else in this house. Like monsters or something. Howie? I wish. Dude, monsters aren't real. That's stupid kid stuff for stupid babies. Maybe. Yeah, you're right. What are you, an idiot? Of course there are monsters in your home, in your house. You're in some weird evil monster dimension. Come on. Skepticism is the crutch of cinematic troglodytes. Like, hey, mom, dad, there's a dinosaur or a ghost or whatever in my room. Yeah, right, Junior, go back to bed. Fuck you, mom and dad. How many times are we going to watch this trope unfold? It wasn't goddamn funny the first time I saw it. Just once I'd like to see dad crap his pants when a kid says there's a vampire in his closet. Oh shit, everyone in the minivan. Be fucking dad of the year right there. Okay, okay, stop. What do I do? What do you what do you have a What, do you have a hammer? Man, so lame. Okay, whatever. You should look into weaponizing your Solidex. My bro's always getting on my case about it, but man, it's not as easy as it sounds. But if you're fighting monsters left and right, you don't have much choice. Okay, I guess I can read up on data structure some more. How's it going there? I'm out in the living room. He's usually here, but I don't see him. Might be playing his mind games. He's always pulling this ninja shit. All I see is his little cowl over there, so I guess he can't be far. Oh God, so lame. What? See, I just don't know why you think it's cool. His ventriloquist rapping thing. Oh, Lil Cal? No, man. Lil Cal is the shit. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm just saying that being a white guy who is a rapper with a ventriloquist doll is not cool by any stretch of the imagination or by any definition of word cool, ironic or otherwise. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, bullshit. Cal is dope. Puppets are awesome. John Egbert blows. The end. Yeah, more like the opposite of all those things is a thing that is true. I'm going to read. Good luck with your bro. Hmm. Read book. Stay wary of these foes. Monsters. Only retarded babies who poop in their diapers believe in that stuff. Youth roll out the front door. Strife. Aggress. Passive. Anti-suicide. Jesus. It looks like her mom has satisfied her strife quota for the day. She simply returns to her housework. No point in going out the front door anymore. Might as well head out the back, like you originally planned. First, be the pony. Second, trample mom. You can't be the stupid pony, and frankly, you can't imagine why anyone would want to. But you give the pony a begrudging pat on the snout anyway. Her name is Maplehoof. John, turn around. God damn it, why do I even bother? The good news. Finally, your revolting incompetence can be put to use. Instead of accidentally firing a Silodex full of stick knives into a priceless oil painting or your beloved great aunt, you can turn that fumbling fury towards one of your foes. This is the ability to grasp such as the ability to grasp painfully simple concepts. The bad news. I'm tired of explaining myself hoarse to you gibberish fuckwads. In this chapter, I will be phoning it in with the liberal use of diagrams and shitty clip art. What are you going to do about it? You are going to wriggle in your own viscous secretions like the worms you are. That's what. Here, learn something for a change. Asshole notes. Purse your lips together to form a stiff pucker. Apply them firmly to my rear end. I now pronounce you man and wife. Now get in the kitchen and make my ass some dinner, bitch. You're trying to read, okay? This book is already unpleasant enough as it is without weird voices in your head nagging you to do things. Besides, I thought we already agreed there's no such thing as monsters. Fine, you'll interrupt your reading and turn around, but you don't see what could possibly be so. Oh my god, it's a monster! It gets the fucking surprise attack off. It's a fucking swoon. Hail him. No, not the bunny. Hammer him, John. He's fucking dead. No, my boy's dead. Oh. He leaves through the back door. Nearby is the transformer which distributes electricity from the underground generator powered by the river flowing beneath your house. The transformer was struck by lightning, though, and no longer works. You wonder if your mother has any plans to have it fixed. You guess you'd rather just play her mind games in the dark house like a weirdo. You can see the mausoleum and the portable generator across your backyard. You're almost there. Hmm. It really makes it seem like okay, basically it she's got more than everyone else it seems when it comes to being wealthy. It seems like her mother's the wealthiest. And I'm trying to think where that could fit into the narrative, aside from the fact that that implies that she's further down the road than other people, or how, due to the fact that she's still in the depressive stage of trying to find fulfillment, she's over encumbered herself with even more false ways to find fulfillment because she's finding that she's not able to find an escape from the depressive stage of it. You regather your items and begin the Soggy Trek Mausoleum ward. Get up, get up, John. This is no time for slumber. Beat his ass. No, lost it, but it's bad. Okay, but beat his ass. Oh shit. What do I do here? No file. No, John. I'm sorry. Achieving the W never even crossed your mind. It's just a stupid magnet. That is some big ass fire. John, salvage your weapon and fight on. Strife. Again. Pick up. Pick up. Pick up. Pick up. Ow. Fuck. Let's fucking go. He's dead. Pick up everything. Monster is dead, so that's how you get more build grist. These these bastards planned it all along. You said put the bunny back in the box. Now why couldn't he put the bunny back in the box? Now exult Victory spoils are yours. Escalator. He'd gone from a green tyke to a Jew squirk to a plucky tot. He's gotten more money, and he's obviously gotten more grist. The amazing victory allows you to scale the first two achievement rungs of your Esche ladder. You are now a plucky tot with a new feather in your cap to show for it. The Esche ladder rewards your bold ascent with 125 boon dollars. Waste little time in storing them in your ceramic pork hollow. Additionally, climbing the rungs has boosted your gel, viscosity, and cash limit. By expanding your cash limit, you've made room for all that nice grist you just collected. You now have 32 fragments of build grist and 10 fragments of shell. What about that card? It seems the shell imp had allocated the bunny to its strife specialist. Sort of a stupid thing to use for a weapon, but you might as well grab it and stick the bunny in your strife deck while you're at it. It will, at the very least, be safer there. Okay, now there are two possible weapons you can use. You group the two specified in your strife portfolio. No self-respecting strifer would be caught dead without one. Gather the scattered bits of your large hammer. Oddly enough, it seems breaking the sledgehammer altered the abstratus from hammer kind to handle kind, even going as far as expelling the head of your smaller hammer from your deck to force compliance. You didn't even notice in the heat of the battle. You grabbed the sledgehammer handle, expelling the useless Harlequin figure. Now repair the hammer. You merge the sledgehammer head with its handle and return it to your strife deck, repairing the hammer kind abstratus in the process. The smaller hammer handle is ejected from the deck, since of course handles of any sort no longer belong there, obviously. Fine. Now what? Dave is pestering you. We don't have time to deal with his nonsense right now. Something is amiss in your room. You can't quite put your finger on it. Uh, that's where we'll stop for today. The 2 hours have passed. Thank you for everyone who has watched or will watch both the stream and the YouTube video that'll be uploaded from this. I hope you all have a good day, good morning, have a good morning, good evening, and good night.